we'll get going. I was joking with Jess before everyone else got on that I didn't even try to clean up my office space. I just figure, we're just keeping it real. This is what it is. So tonight is training number 2, and I'm going to do my very best to keep looking at this green light, because I hope when I'm looking at the green light, actually I'm looking you in the eyes. It's very awkward for me because I'd much rather be looking down here and looking at your faces, but then it looks like I'm zoned out somewhere. So please bear with me. Tonight's training is about building credibility and building momentum. And I actually have a little qualification to that. It actually should have read building credibility and early momentum, because there is a shift that'll happen in your business, in your coaching business, after you've been doing it for a while, where we need to switch strategies as far as keeping your momentum going. But we're not going to worry about that tonight, because what we want to start with is early momentum, because that's where we're going to assume that either all of us are, or that we want to begin again. All right. So credibility, I think it probably goes without saying, is very important for obvious reasons. We want to not be icky. We want to not be the traditional used car salesman that always gets such a bad name, or we don't want to be we definitely don't want to fill any of these unfortunate preconceived stereotypes of other multi-level marketing companies. Now, I don't consider Beachbody to be a multi-level marketing company. I believe it to be a multi-helping company, multi-level helping company, because we actually really are helping people with their wellness. But the way that it's structured, it looks the same as many of the other companies that are out there that we see folks also running businesses on social media for. Most of these folks that are out there are doing a great job. They're doing it, ethically, with integrity. They're doing it the way that we do it. But unfortunately, there are some that don't. And historically, in the past, even more so, I think, there are folks that did not choose to do these, to run their businesses with integrity. So unfortunately, some folks have an icky taste in their mouth when it comes to the kind of business that we are building. And I don't like that. It's unfortunate, but I can tell you from experience that it is very simple in most cases to flip that mentality and flip that preconceived notion in someone's mind very quickly and very easily. And how you do that is by building credibility. And you can do it actually even before you ever even talk to the person, especially when we're dealing with social media. So credibility with what we do pretty much resides in the fact that you want to be honest and authentic about your journey, and you want to be proof that what we are offering to people works. Okay? So there's 2 components there that go really, really closely together, but they are different. The first component that you want to be honest and transparent is that you want to talk about what you're doing. Are you doing a program on Beachbody On Demand? If you are, what program are you doing? Are you looking forward to one that's coming out? Do you want to talk about that? Are you a superfoods freak like I am? Do you wish you could walk around with a sandwich board and a ringing bell talking about how the superfoods have changed your life? You want to be honest and transparent about what these products and these solutions are doing for you. You want to talk about what the accountability group is doing for you, whether it's a challenge group or if it's like more of the foundational group that we're really pouring into right now with Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful. You really want to share and be honest and open. When I say honest, open, and transparent, I mean in all facets, okay? So it should go without saying that we want to be talking about the fact that we are exercising, that we are choosing healthy foods, that we are drinking water, that if we're doing 2B mindset, we're veggies most, that we're drinking our superfoods. But it also is just as important when building credibility to talk about when you don't. There is so much power in going out there and saying, I fell off the wagon, or I just stuffed my face with a bag of Doritos, or I haven't had a workout in 10 days, or I've gained back 10 pounds of the 30 that I lost, or whatever that looks like for you. Even if it's a momentary thing, those are the key things that people truly latch onto. And what I've seen in doing this for 3 years as a side hustle, the two things that people latch onto the most for me and where I get the most interest and the most opportunity to help people is when I share a transformation, either myself or someone else's. And usually, that's a before and after picture. It's a scroll stopper picture, okay? Or a really, really, great picture. One of those professional photos, that I put up sometimes from like forever ago where I had like layers of makeup and really good lighting. So a transformational story and photo, or the photo where I'm saying, I am a total human putz, and this is why. But I have these solutions that make it okay for me to get back on the saddle tomorrow. Now, those two things might not be the two top things that generate interest for you and the opportunity for you to help people, but I have heard that kind of stuff consistently with my colleagues and our colleagues in Beachbody. So when I'm talking about sharing authentically and transparently, you do not want to be ashamed or feel awkward about talking about the fact that you drank your super mama juice before your training so that you could serve your team well, okay? There's nothing icky about that because that's true. I sucked it down. Look, there's like a drop left. But that is something that I'm sharing because whereas someone might not really understand what is a pre-workout and why would I need that? I didn't know what it was before I joined Beachbody. But if you say something about an all-natural plant-based super mama juice that's going to give me a healthy boost of oomph to be able to push through a long night at work, I, as the woman I am in the season of life that I am, I'm going to be very interested in that. And all I did was share my truth, right? Now, so, you can probably count on that being one of my posts in the next few days. So, I just, content comes from our lives, right? It's honest. Now, at the same time, I actually took a moment, instead of creating a post about this, I decided to go live in our foundational team page earlier today. And I appreciate most of you took the time to watch my fumbling video and comment with such care. But I truly did feel like this strong pull to just share my mess up, my transparency, my humanness. And sometimes we have to do that because when we're out there as health and wellness coaches, that title, which I am proud of, and we each should wear with pride because we're pouring into our health and wellness. We're coaching people in what works for us, okay? But sometimes with that title, even though we've never claimed to have any kind of certification to be a physical trainer or a certified trainer or registered dietitian or anything like that, sometimes with that title, people will assume that we just have it all together and that we're perfect and that, we never stumble. And who wants to join up with perfection? I know I don't. I like nice photos. I'm attracted to things that are pretty. But I am not going to join someone's team or start a business with someone who has no flaws because I ain't gonna last very long there because they're going to see my true colors pretty quickly and be like, oh, I don't know that we're the right fit. So I want you to know that when you have those times, again, whether it's a momentary, why did I just have 3 brownies instead of 1 brownie? Or it's a, holy crap, I just gained back 10 of the 30 pounds that I lost. Those are things that are going to build credibility, along with the fact that you're incorporating how you use the products and solutions we have into your everyday life, okay? You see me drinking this and I'm not in some beautifully matching, well-coiffed fitness outfit in a bright and shiny gym getting ready to do a workout with Autumn Calabrese. No, I'm sitting here in my sweats in a very messy office, going to use this product, this solution to power through that. So again, you're building credibility there. Now, the other thing, in addition to talking about what you do honestly with our products and our solutions, and when you fall off using them, or making the good choices. The other thing is that you have to be, and I believe this, there's a school of thought that doesn't, but I believe this to my core because I think it's the only way to be authentic. You have to be proof that what we're doing works. Some people truly do sign up with a business and say, I'm going to start selling, I don't know, pantyhose. and they don't wear pantyhose. They don't care about pantyhose. They haven't tried these pantyhose to see if they actually fit well or feel good or have anything different than those ones that are already so uncomfortable. But they're like, I want to make money and this is what I'm going to sell. Some people believe that they can do that. I don't. And I know that none of you do as well. But I want to show you that there is that unfortunate idea in some folks' minds, especially folks my age and older that have been around long enough for like the days of Amway and some of the older things where, you know, and I actually know some Amway reps that are amazing. But sometimes these companies from years ago are just real, they can be shady. The salespeople can be shady. And so you don't ever want to assume that someone thinks you're shady, but you want to already just answer that question, just obliterate that objection before they even have time to think that about you, because you're already proof that the products work. Now, what does that mean? I, again, if I could, would literally be a walking billboard for Shakeology. I started drinking it in October of 2016. Within 10 days, I could tell a difference, and I have missed less than a half a dozen days since, probably because I just forgot it or I was on vacation or something. It literally changed the game for me. And I talk about that. I talk a lot about how it helped me poop every day and just change the things. I did it so much that Devin came to me one day and said, you talk a lot about Shakeology. Why don't we make you a video? So I have that video, a short snippet about how it changed the game for me and how I still drink it every day and that I believe it's the top of the line and this is why. And I have it on the YouTube channel, and you guys are welcome to share that with anybody anytime. I encourage you to make your own if you are just as as big of a fan of these superfoods as I am. And I'm always happy to talk to you about Shakeology offline if you have any concerns or feel weird about offering it, because we often get the price objection, we often get the subscription objection. I've heard it all. I love the stuff. I can talk to all of that with you. We'll do another training on Shakeology someday. But anyways, being proof the product works. What else does that mean? That means that if you've picked one of our nutrition lifestyles, you follow it and you talk about how it works for you. Okay, so I'm going to call you out, Susan, because you're my to-be poster child rock star. Susan adopted the to-be mindset and to date has lost how much?
Almost 80 pounds.
Almost 80 pounds. We are proof that the product works, okay? Because she took the program, she implemented it, and now she can talk about it authentically and honestly because she's lost 80 pounds from doing it. Now you see her also sweating and doing the exercises, so she's using, the whole solution with the Shakeology and everything. But she can talk authentically because the products work. Just like I can talk authentically and honestly about Shakeology because I drink it every day and it changed my life. What else? Proof the products work. So you're doing 10 rounds, you're doing bar blend, you're doing 80-day obsession. You're actually doing it. You put it out there into the world. You didn't tell someone on Monday, I'm starting 80-day obsession. And then by Wednesday, no one ever hears that in your feed again. You aren't going to build credibility by start, stop, or by putting stuff out there and then not following through with it. Now, I have a caveat for you. I did my first round of 80-day obsession and I absolutely loved it. I still love the program. Took a week off after my first round. I guess it was 2018 when it came out. Planned to do a second round. Second round time started. I started off with a bang again. And I was very, if I'm going to be doing 80-day obsession or any workout program, I'm going to talk about it, right? And I wasn't able to complete it. I got very ill. My son got very ill. We hit delivery season. It just got to the point where I was making myself sicker by pushing myself to do those 60-minute workouts 6 days a week. So in that case, I then did a series of honest and authentic posts talking about, I am not one to quit. I am not one to ever say, I can't do this, but you know what? I'm listening to my body and I have access to 750 plus workouts. So I'm going to pick something else that'll work better for me. And I think I actually did 3-week yoga retreat. My body thanked me so much. And I'll come back to 80-day obsession another time. That I believe, maybe somebody would have been like, not watch me finish it. I don't know, but I didn't get any negative feedback from that. I believe that that still allowed me to maintain my credibility while making the necessary adjustments because I was honest. So I said at the beginning how these two are very intertwined, being authentic and honest, but also being proof the products work. I am not going to buy a $130 bag of Shakeology for you if you can't tell me that you don't believe in it or that you don't drink it at least almost every day. I believe you should drink it every day because I actually do that instead of my old daily vitamins and mineral supplement. But some people do it, Monday through Friday. Some people do it every other day. People find what works for them and their system. But I'm not going to buy it from you if you're just like, yeah, I heard it. It's really good. Right? I certainly am not going to want to start a nutrition program if you have nothing to tell me about it. Okay. Now, here's the thing. We can start Ultimate Portion Fix, which is the alternative that Beachbody offers for 2B Mindset. And you might get in there and you might realize, I don't really like portioning my food. This is wonky. That doesn't mean you're a failure. That just means you're going to now go out to your people, to your followers, to your friends out in social media land and the people that you're also talking to. And you're going to say, you know what? I tried this. I am not somebody who likes to be told how much I can eat. I'm going to go and try this other program. It is wonderful that we have these two programs to offer because 2B Mindset and Ultimate Portion Fix are, I don't want to say night and day, but they are two very different philosophies and they're perfect. If you guys were at our November event, you heard Liza talk about Ultimate Portion Fix. She needs somebody to tell her how much to eat and when. And I talked about 2B Mindset because I don't want anybody telling me how much to eat and when to eat it. So my point is you want to adopt these programs, give them a try, and show what works for you and what doesn't work for you. That's not to say, and Jess Ward and I have talked about this because Jess Ward is a gym person. And I have a lot of people that are either on our team or just customers of mine that they don't like the at-home workouts. Maybe they don't not like them, but they prefer the gym or they prefer outside. They prefer all of that. And that is absolutely fine. Because one, Beachbody On Demand is not just workouts. What we know now more than ever is that there's cooking shows, there's recipes, there's also rest and recovery workouts now, rest and replenish workouts, where maybe you've been outside training for your 5K, but oh my God, I just need to roll out and stretch. So there's always something to use. But maybe, so Jess, we talked about, Jess, her angle or her pitch or her niche is not going to be Beachbody On Demand. Her niche is going to be something more nutrition or beach bars or super mama juice or Shakeology or something like that. Okay. But what I'm talking about as far as being proof the product works, and we'll get to this in the next training, that's actually one of the vital behaviors of coaching is being proof the product works. This is the only way to be authentic and credible. And because we also in Team Fierce, Fit, and Faithful are representing Christ, I really feel like it's extra important that if I'm talking to somebody about how important Shakeology is and that it's worth the investment, which you guys know, I believe that. I believe it's worth more than we pay for it. You should be ingesting it as well because that's how you share authentically and honestly. Now, have I done every Beachbody program? No. I haven't done P90X. Carrie's the rock star who's jumped in there and she's the one who's doing that one. And I want to do it, but I certainly can reach out to Carrie or other colleagues and ask for feedback if someone's asking me about P90X, but I can sure show you how to find it, how to get there, how to get the resources. The reason I mention that is because as we talked about in the first training, a lot of times it's the start that stops us from sharing because we feel like we need to have all the answers. I need to know what every program is. I need to know what to recommend. I need to know how many beach bar flavors and, all that. No, you don't. You don't have to know that. One, that's why we have each other. And two, there's not a question out there that we can't find the answer to pretty quickly. And again, we're not, this stuff isn't emergent. So if you can't get the answer immediately, there's that beautiful part that's just also honest and transparent that says, you know what, I don't know the answer to that right now, but I'm going to reach out to people that do, and I'll be back with you soon. So just know that even if you've never even completed a program start to finish, doesn't mean you can't help someone with BOD, because I bet you have a membership to it. Maybe you can even get them on a FaceTime call and you guys can flip through it together. Anyways, I don't want to belabor that, but I do want to mention again, on our YouTube channel, I do have a Shakeology testimony on there that Devin helped me film. You are more than welcome to share that with anyone you like. But there is power in sharing your own story, okay? Because not everybody knows. Most of the people you're talking to are going to know who I am. They're like, who's this lady you're sending me a video of? But you're more than welcome to share that. We have also on the YouTube channel, I think 3 now, transformation stories of coaches within Team Fierce Fit and Faithful, and hopefully we'll get more. So that's something that you can share, because sometimes the whole reason that idea came up of filming those was Liza's idea. She said, sometimes I get tired of talking about myself and I'd love to tell someone else's story. So this is a way to be, it didn't just work for me. These solutions work for others as well. Let me share this with you, and they're really great, by the way. So these are all ways that we can share and be authentic and be honest, and also be proof that the products work, okay? We don't have to be perfect proof that the products work, okay? But we need to be authentic and using the stuff that we're talking to people about. Does anybody have any questions about that component before I move on to the next one?
No.
Okay.
Chris messaged, she thought it was at 5:30 instead of 5, and I told her to go ahead and jump on, but I don't have her cell phone number, so maybe if somebody can shoot her a text.
She's on now.
Oh, she is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Des. I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to take a quick big swig of my Wonder Woman water. And we'll move on to the second component, which is momentum. And like I said earlier, more so in this training, since it's our second coach training, it's early momentum. So some of you that have been around for a while, some of this won't apply, but I hope that some tips that I've included in here might be helpful. And then we'll talk about continuing that momentum in a future training. Reminds me, I gotta write this down. Hang on. Carrie, as a quick aside, I haven't forgotten that you're also looking for some Instagram training. That's coming as well. I wish I could just do this all the time. Anyways, all right, so early momentum. Early momentum comes from being consistent, showing up consistently. Now, in this day and age, what I'm talking about showing up consistently is pretty much social media, and especially in COVID-19 age, I'm definitely meaning showing up in social media, whether you're doing Facebook or Instagram, one or the other. There's a lot of different schools of thought on that, and we'll talk about that in another training. But what I can say, my singular, humble opinion, and then I'll give you the larger opinion. Most of our target market, and Carrie, this might be a little bit excluding you because you're younger, but most of our target market is still resting in Facebook, okay? It's growing in Instagram because Instagram's growing more every day, exponentially more than Facebook is growing, okay? So what I do for now, and it's what's working for me for now, I know that this will need to change when I get to the time where, like I talked about in the last training, where things need to ramp up more. But what I do now is I have a Facebook and an Instagram, and they both get the same exact posts for the most part. I pretty much just kind of cut and paste, okay? A lot of that's just time. I don't have time to do both. But if you want to choose one or the other, my gut, again, because of who we are, what we represent, and our demographic, a lot of us are going to find most of our folks on Facebook right now. Now, if anyone else was teaching this training, they would tell you to focus on Instagram, okay? Because that's where it is. Like I just said, Instagram is growing exponentially, all right? And perhaps with the inception of bod groups where Facebook is now obsolete, like no longer necessary for us to run challenge groups, that could very well become my new suggestion very soon. So if possible, my suggestion to you is to have a Facebook page and an Instagram page and just copy and paste onto both. If you can't possibly do both, I encourage you to focus on Facebook for now and then grow Instagram as time allows, okay? A lot of people would disagree with me on that, but I'm just keeping it real for you right now. All right, so again, early momentum comes from showing up consistently. What that means is 2 ways of showing up consistently, okay? You need to show up every single day on social media. Once a day. Algorithms change a lot, okay? But once a day is a perfect goal. Sometimes if you have something really exciting and you want to throw up a second post, they're finding that doesn't, what am I trying to say? It doesn't like put your first post back in the background anymore, but you know, that could all change tomorrow. So as of today, April 29th, your goal is to show up in a strong way once a day on the social media, okay? Now that's posting. And if you're doing stories, Facebook stories and or Instagram stories, please know that your stories can just be a gazillion times a day, okay? We'll talk more about stories in another training because they are very important, and you can actually, as your momentum grows and we transition, you're gonna start sharing a little bit differently in your posts versus your stories. But for now, again, we're talking about early momentum. And like I said, I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible instead of overwhelming everybody. Because I know when I was a new coach, I was like, wow. We want to focus on a high quality post once a day. You want to show up. And I'll talk about that content here in a bit. The second thing you need to do consistently, and I would say every day, but I know this is impossible, so I'm going to talk about this in a moment. The second thing you want to be able to do consistently is make time to follow up with people, okay? Because just like you saw the other day, Carrie, and probably others of you did as well, but Carrie put up her coming out post. And then shortly thereafter, oh my God, people want to hear from me. What, you know? So it's not just the time that it takes to create your post, but then it's the time to follow up with the people that either reach out to you, which is awesome when people actually take the time to message you, or the people that like your post or comment on your post, okay? So I'm gonna speak to that first, and then I'm gonna come back to posting. So making time to follow up is just as important as putting your posts out there, because following up means that you had some kind of interest on a post that you already put up, all right? So there's these different kinds of follow-ups, but you want to make sure that you're doing your follow-ups consistently. I wish I could say that I have time every single day to work my follow-ups, okay? And there's 3 types of follow-ups that I'll go over again right now for you guys. One, somebody that messaged you, okay, or texted you if they have your cell phone number. Somebody that commented on your post, like, hey, you look so great, congratulations, or just send me more information. Any kind of comment, okay? A funny GIF, anything. And then just the people that like or love or laugh at your post, okay? Those are 3 kinds of forms of interest. They are all follow-ups that you should be working. Now, again, I wish I could say that I do it every day. I don't. You see my office. Life right now does not afford me to spend as much time working and helping people as I would like, but I do have a commitment that I work follow-ups every other day, okay? If I can get to them every day, I love it, because like I said at the beginning of this call, this kind of work brings me joy. What you need to do is you need to look at your life and your schedule, and we'll talk about the next step in that, communicating with your family here in a minute about that, and you need to determine how often you are going to work your follow-ups, okay? Here's why. You can put your post out, either coming out post or now all these breadcrumb posts that you're gonna be working on, or even 3 years from now when you put up a post like I did the other day, a transformation post, you'll start getting messages If you don't have a set time in your brain and in your life and in your family schedule in which you're going to respond and work your follow-ups, you will burn yourself out being constantly married to your phone or to your laptop, trying to respond to people the moment they message you. Now, if that's the way you want to run your business because you want to run fast and you want to go, then more power to you, and that is amazing. But most of us wear a lot of hats, and we need to be able to trust that we have dedicated time in our schedule to help the people that want help. But we need to know that we don't have to drop everything we're doing every time we hear a notification or a ding go off in our phone, okay? So here's what I do. On Sunday evenings or Monday mornings, it's definitely kind of fluid right now with everything that's happening, I actually will sit with my calendar and I block out time to work my follow-ups, okay? Then those times go on a Post-it note. Yes, I'm very highly technical, as you know. They go on a Post-it note up on my refrigerator, and it then lets Nick and Nicholas know at such and such a time on such and such a days, I am, unless you are on fire or unless you really are like in true need of mom or wife, I am not available because I am helping, my team, okay? That helps in so many different ways. And I know we're in different seasons of life. Sometimes you don't have to be that structured. Sometimes you do, but it's a gift to your family because then, full disclosure, right? They're not feeling hopefully neglected, or they understand what you're doing. It's also a gift to yourself for peace of mind, because if you start hearing 5, 6, Lord willing, gazillion dings going off of people messaging you, but you're in the middle of a project, you're writing a Bible study, or you're working on a deliverable, or you're at the clinic, getting ready to take a dog's temperature, the last thing you want to have stress about is, oh my God, I got to remember to get back to these people. If you already know somewhere in your brain and your mental Rolodex that you have an hour or 45 minutes or 20 minutes blocked out tomorrow morning or tonight after a shower to get to your follow-ups, then you can just say, cool, I've got follow-ups waiting for me. There's nothing better than opening up your inbox when it comes to your follow-up time and be like, oh, I have people that want to talk to me. So it's a blessing that you can give yourself, okay? So find out what works for you. For me, if I can do every other day and have about 45 minutes every other day to work my follow-ups, that works for me. And I communicate that to my husband. He has to he wants to know he wanted to know, what are follow-ups? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? We'll talk about that in a little while. Going back to posts, okay? There are a couple different ways that I have seen folks who do this well, take care of their posts. There's 2 different mannerisms. Some folks like to create their content day to day. They have the time, they have the bandwidth, they also have the desire to use their platform to add value on a day-to-day basis, depending on what their morning devotional said, depending on what their good or bad night's sleep offered them, or just where they're headed for the day. I have seen that work incredibly well. Chris, I'll call you out. There are times I can tell that Chris has just been moved that day to share something incredibly beautiful, and it always is very powerful. And I actually prefer to do daily creative content because I love to write. I know Chris is the same. I actually just love that kind of what am I trying to say?
Outlet.
Yes, that kind of outlet. Thank you, Chris. I love that kind of outlet. However, what I know for me is that, especially right now, for example, in graduation season, which is happening all around me, I am not going to be able to put up any kind of value-added post routinely every single day. So when I am really on point and I am really on my game, what I will do is I actually carve out time to work my business, and it is specifically time to create content and create posts. I don't always do this. In fact, I'm behind right now. You'll notice yesterday I found some meme about, a cat not wanting me to be home because of COVID-19, which is very true. My cats have started hunting us now, but it was not anything that was a lot, it was a chuckle, so that's adding some value, but it certainly wasn't anything that I had poured a lot of time or energy into. It was one of those days where it's like, I don't have any creative content in the pipeline. I know I'm not going to have time to create anything. I want to put something up. I haven't done anything funny in a while, so here's what I'm going to put up. Okay. But back up. What can be really beneficial is if you can carve out an hour or two of time every week. And usually for me, this is on a Sunday or a Monday, because Sunday evenings are kind of teen time for me. And then Mondays used to be when I had the day off from this job. But I call it creating content. And oh my gosh, I'll sit down and I will plan out a posting schedule for the week. And it feels incredible for two reasons. One, because I'm getting to use my creative juices. I have this outlet where that's my job. I'm like a writer right now for this whole, nugget of time. And then two, I walk away from my computer with 5 to 7 posts created that all I'm going to need to do throughout the week is simply copy, paste, insert the photo. And usually when I'm creating this content, when I'm creating a posting schedule, I pick the photo and I'll have it saved, as Monday in a folder on my desktop. So it's literally like 10, 20 seconds. And that is my sweet spot. If I can do that, then I feel like I've really just checked off a big monster box. So if your life is, similar to mine, where there's a lot of hats and there's a lot of times where you just know you're not going to be able to create valuable content every day, I encourage you to look at creating a posting schedule for yourselves. What I do have is I have a recommended visual of what you might consider posting. I think I talked about this a little bit in the first training, where I said not every day needs to be this heartfelt, gut-wrenching life transformation or testimony. In fact, you're going to probably make people really oh my God, this lady's life is really hard. But every other day can, or every 2 or 3 days can. We talked in the first training about breadcrumbing your story and how you don't put it all out there, you save it. But in between there, we all have beautiful kids and grandkids and puppies and kitties and landscape and hikes and all these other things that can go in between those days that all factor into who we are as people. I think of Carrie's chicken posts. They always make me so happy whenever I see those. They factor into who we are as people. We're still being authentic and honest. But again, those aren't posts that, take a long time to read. Therefore, they don't take a long time to create and that kind of stuff. But I still, when I'm in my sweet spot and I have my posting schedule out and I've got my posts ready for the week, I have those even planned out already. Even if they're my branded statements or motivational quotes, I already got those done. And it's like, boom, Wednesday. But like I said, I have a sample or a suggested idea to kind of follow that is suggested by one of the coaches in our upline. For those of us that are just now figuring out oh my gosh, I got to post every day. I don't even know what I'm going to say. Sometimes you can forget how incredibly dynamic and amazing you are and how many facets you actually have to your life. So I will share that hopefully tonight. And if not, I will make sure to share that tomorrow. And it might be a nice way for you to just get started. You can take it or leave it. I've taken it and, tweaked it to my own. Sometimes it changes. I had a post that I was planned for today, but after our training, I'm actually going to create a much different one because my husband is home. He was on school duty today, and Wednesday is PE day for my son's school. And I got a picture of PE at home. It's a 4-hour session on a water slide out back. So we're going to do a comparison between when mama's running school and when daddy's running school. And it's hilarious. So, sometimes things change and will be fluid, but I will post that sample schedule for you guys just to get you started. I told you all this in the first training, and I think I said it individually to those of you that reached out one-on-one. You can't go wrong with posting as long as you're posting honestly. As long as you're not trying to be anyone else but yourself, and you're not looking left to right, even if the grammar is a little off, or even if you got your post up at 10 o'clock at night when you wanted it to be at 10 o'clock in the morning, if you are honest and sharing something about your life that adds some kind of value to the world, you can't go wrong. I just said a moment ago, putting a chuckle out there can be adding value. I think you guys would agree right now, especially. Sometimes it's nice just to see these silly COVID-19 memes, right? I mean, it's just funny. So don't think that adding value has to be a brand new recipe, or it has to be your life, personal life testimony and how you've overcome this every single day. Adding value can simply be a beautiful sunrise. Adding value can be a picture of your children smiling. And I mean, these are things that I think bring light to the world, and that's what we're called to do. So, excuse me, just a moment. All right, so this actually leads me to the last point of the training, where I said, some of you might be like, what? I need to post every day? Oh my gosh, I mean, this is gonna take like so much time. Now, I'm not saying any of you on here are saying that, but this is just a little bit of tough love that I feel very compelled to share. Don't even know if I need to, but maybe somebody who watches this in the future might need to hear it. But I know that when I heard this, it was helpful, especially on those days that I'm really tired or I'm just feeling very overwhelmed. Yes, you should plan to show up every day. And yes, I am encouraging you and telling you that the best way to create early momentum and to create credibility is to show up every day. And if your thought process is, oh my gosh, this is so much work, I got to do that, and I got to carve out time to do follow-ups and send share cards. Amy, what is this? Well, I'll tell you what it's not. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay, this is not one of those stories where it's like, I paid $40 to become a coach and then 2 months later I was driving a Corvette. No, this is an incredibly amazing opportunity to be able to build either a residual side income or to build a full-time life-changing income with a very beautiful, ethical company whose whole mission is to help people lead healthy and fulfilling lives. But it is a job. Being a coach is a blessing and it's incredible, but you are taking this on. If you're choosing to earn an income, it's a job, okay? So just like when you're gonna go clock in or walk into whatever job it is that you do now, you're not gonna expect to walk in for an hour and then get 2 weeks worth of a paycheck, right? You're going to need to put the effort forth, and the effort really will determine if you're consistent and if you build that credibility. The effort really does, and I have seen this firsthand and I've seen it with colleagues that I respect very much. The effort really does translate into how much that paycheck is on Thursday, okay? The nice thing about the business that we're running or that we're building is that it requires effort. It requires a lot of effort, especially in the beginning, to get that credibility and that momentum going. But there is the opportunity to earn residual income because we are helping people with what's called, with things like a subscription, for example. Every year that someone's Beachbody On Demand annual membership renews, which most people don't cancel it because it's incredible and it's only $100 a year. Every time that renews, you earn $40. Every time another bag of Shakeology ships, you earn 25% off of that. So if you get someone signed up and you, with these solutions that work, because you know they work, because they worked for you, and you continue to coach them and love them and help them to fall in love with them as much as you have, then you didn't just earn money off of that sell one time. There's a possibility that you could continue to earn money off of that same person as you continue to help them in the future. So that's very different than, like I said, my idea, I don't know where pantyhose came from, but the idea of pantyhose, you don't really have a subscription to pantyhose usually. And, so there really is the opportunity. I see a lot of that now, and it's a blessing to me and I don't take it lightly, that people that I brought onto our team 2 years ago who still now enjoy their superfoods I still am blessed by that. They're blessed, they're enjoying it, but the work that I put then is still benefiting my family financially because of the way this business model is, okay? But I have to say, that even though there is that residual component and it's beautiful, this is a job and it requires work. And you guys know, if you don't already, that I am looking forward to, and I am always happy to talk to you about your financial goals. And of course, you know, Beachbody disclaimer, we can't make any promises. It's all, you know, individually based, but I'm always happy to talk to you about what your financial goals are. Because if your goal is, for example, I would like to add $1,000 of income to my home every month, or I want to quit my day job and I need to make this much to replace that salary, or I would like to make enough to cover my Beachbody addiction. I just want to cover, you know, the cost of my own product. Those are all things that we can map out, and you can determine, in essence, really how hard you need to work in order to make that happen. I have seen all levels of success. I have seen, I am a discount coach and I want to earn enough to cover my Beachbody habit, all the way up to, whoa, I mean, some of these women that I've met in flesh, like they're human being people just like us that, you know, fall off the wagon and mess up, but they've changed the trajectory of their lives and their families' lives. And then I've seen everything in between, and all of it is good because all of it means that we're helping people, okay? But I just wanted to throw that little tag in there that this does require effort. I don't ever want anybody to think that you're going to start getting a paycheck just because you threw up a coming out post and now everybody, the floodgates are going to open, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, it is the most rewarding work that I can even speak to right now. It is amazing. Whenever Susan just said a moment ago that she's down 80 pounds, I mean, I had to stop. I don't know if you noticed. And because I want to cry when I hear these amazing things. And anyways, I'm going to stop. It's extremely rewarding work. This is a way that we are helping people, and we're also helping the folks that live under our roofs as well, in whatever way we decide to, okay? All right, I have a couple of bullet points to go over, like more housekeeping stuff that actually aren't specifically on this training. So before I stop the recording and we switch to that real quickly, I wanted to see if anyone had any questions on the credibility or the momentum piece. No? Okay. Hi, Deb.
Hey guys, I got to hear the last like 10 minutes.
That's okay.
That's good.
I know you're working. You have your day job hat on, and you know.
I know.
All good.
I just finished. So yay.
Recording it, no problem. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording now, and